because this factor changes between them. The ball bearing provides some axial location, but I think it's a bit less, takes slightly lower loading, and so the radial loading. We don't have a great deal of actual loading, but we need some location, so it might be a plan to take, if we look at see what stresses, or what loadings we get and what dimensions we get for the roller bearings and the ball bearings, if we do it for both of them, I think. So the first thing we need to do is to work out the duty cycle of each bearing. Yeah. Now we've been specified a duty of, is it 5 years, 250 days per year, 8 hours a day, so times that by 60 per minute, and then we have 560 revolutions per minute.
Yes.
580 revolutions per minute of the shaft. Okay, so we'll work all that through, yeah? 5 by 250 by 8 by 60 by 580. 3.48 times 10 to the 8, it looks like. Or 348 times 10 to the 6, that's fine. Now, the factor I think is supposed to be taken, when we use this duty cycle, we should take it in millions of cycles. So if we have the equation, if we work out what the equation would be in terms of dynamic related to static, so essentially what we have is, well, what we would have is, so if I can, the equation we have L is equal to C upon P all to the power of small p, where small p is the bearing factor. I'm not sure the use of symbols is particularly great here. So what we would have is, so take small p is 10 upon 3 for roller bearings. So C is equal to L to the 3 upon 10 times P.
Yeah.
That's fine. So L to the 3 upon 10 is, so it's 348 to the 0.3, 5.79. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so if we look at bearing A, we have a static loading. Well, yeah, if you work out the dynamic loadings, dynamic loading is 5.79 times 3.479. Okay, and if I calculate that, that is equal to, so it's 3,479.4, is that the total number? That's equal to 20136.2 kilonewtons. Okay, now the same for B. So reaction is 3677.2, 21280.9. Kilonewtons around it. Okay, so that is that. Now what we want to do is I have the SKF catalogue open in front of me, the electronic catalogue, and we want to look through to say what bearings would meet our ratings, would meet our requirements. And we can see in terms of the cylindrical roller bearing single row, we have, well, to be honest, a family of bearings that will have a static rating of 21.6 kilonewtons and a dynamic rating of 23.8 kilonewtons. Okay, and the principal dimensions, D is 7, small d is 17, uppercase D is 40, B is 16. We have to go and see which. Now, we have different designations for these. We have NJ 2203 ECP, NU 2203 ECP, and NUP. I think a lot of these are to do with how they're housed, so we may need to go and check what these actually mean. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
So if I go to the NUP, so that actually, click on that. This gives us we have some calculation factors here.
Can we save it as a
Can we?
PDF?
We can export this as CAD, I think, if you really wish. But we're not worried about that at the moment, are we? That might take a little while, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we just, yeah.
Now what we want to know is I want to know what the different designations mean. What does NUP mean? We have, as I say, we have three essentially the same bearings with different designations, NJ, NU, NUP.
Yes.
Now what does that mean? Okay. Cylindrical bore, tapered bore, what does it mean? Now I'm going to go to a higher level in the catalogue just to see an explanation of these if we can.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Going through this. Oh.
Okay, here.
What do the designations mean is what we want to know. It's not clear. It's not on that form. What I'm going to do is look at the
Search.
do a search just on NUP designation, just see if that means anything.
No.
Just remove NUP.
Just NUP,
Is a query term just to see what that comes up with. No, still not saying. If you go back to products, to the products section, interactive engineering catalogue, we want rolling bearings. Now,
so you turn back.
a detailed search, we'll try just to see what it says. Rolling bearings. Okay, so essentially this has the same things that. Okay, let's just use the type of bearing we're after based upon a product designation and a geometry. Okay, that's not really what we're after.
Yeah, no.
That's the calculations. Bearing life, equivalent bearing loads and basic loads and that's low viscosity. Frictional movement, bearing frequency, load more viscosity. Housing tolerances. I think that because designation to me indicates something to do with the actual geometry of the bearing as opposed to anything else. Cause it has exactly this. The bearings with all their designations have exactly the same load ratings. They just have different designations and they are different masses. Everything else appears to be the same. But what we do need to know is what the differences in the designations are. Because we have to think how we're going to fit this. I think it may be something to do with that. I don't know why I'm not making it a bit clearer.
I think because we choose this based on the sea, and they have lots of choice.
Yeah, but what are the differences between the bearings? Because they are fundamentally different bearings, and we need to know why they're different.
Yeah, we choose this through the mechanical
cylindrical roller bearings, yes.
Yes, and
okay. Okay. Single row cylindrical bearings, maybe
yes,
NUP and N designs. What does that mean? What are the differences between these different designs?
yes.
Oh, they've got something in figure 1.
Mm.
Okay, so it's a pop-up. I try to open any window. I click on that.
That will be
okay. What is the difference? They have diagrams indicating the differences between NU, NJ, NUP and N. It's not clear. It looks to be something to do with location. It looks to be that the NUP, looking at the section there, is more fully enclosed.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually located, which is what we want.
Yeah.
So the NUP and N look to be, no, the N isn't on the outer race. The NUP looks to be fully enclosed, both races in the axial direction, providing some actual location we suggest. So I think we want the NUP.
Yeah.
That's what we're after. In which case we can have roller bearings for both, if that provides the actual location.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will be NUP.
NUP is a designation. If I go back to the bearing catalogue,
the
bearing that we're looking at the minute is NUP 2203 EC.